Hey, welcome to Live with Lynn. So if you're here, say hi. If you're watching the replay, be sure to type replay so I know you were here. I'm Lynn Huber, and I appreciate you being here today. So today we're going to talk about high achievers put themselves in other people's shoes. So we're continuing to talk about what we can learn from highly successful people. I love to watch and learn from those who are high achievers because it doesn't matter if they're in my business or in any other business. I believe that success leaves clues. And if we watch what the successful people are doing, we can learn a lot from them. Hi, Anitra. Good morning. Glad to see you here. So successful people talk about perseverance and smarts and never giving up, right? Just as we would expect. But they also empathy is very important to them. Empathy, sometimes it can be confused with sympathy, but actually the meaning is just subtly different. You know, empathy is simply the ability to understand the feelings of others. The ability, as the expression goes, to put yourself in another person's shoes. So also, empathy doesn't necessarily mean nice. So you can take the time to understand someone else's point of view and still screw them over. Not that I'm advocating that by any means, but just because you're empathetic or you have empathy doesn't mean that you're being nice necessarily. It just means that you're able to understand someone else's point of view. Hi, Karen. Good to see you. So being able to understand someone else's point of view is a key trait for success in your business and in your life. It's so easy to look at everything through our own perspective alone. Often that's the default response to any situation because as humans, we're all about ourselves, right? Naturally, we're just all about ourselves. And it can sometimes be the cause of problems, though, if you're working with customers or coworkers and higher ups and, anybody. I mean, if you're trying to get along with other people. And so we would be much better off if we're able to see the things through other people's perspective. So if you're not able or unwilling to look at things through someone else's perspective, you're going to find that your communication isn't nearly as good as it could be. One reason it's so important to put yourself in another person's shoes is you want to get multiple potential perspectives on something that you're doing, because if you're, whether you're in business or you have your own business, you're in sales or you're in marketing or you're building something, you're developing something, whatever that is, you need to understand that the people who would be your customer, because you need to be able to build a better product or sell a better product that it's going to meet your customer's needs. It's all about your customer, not you, right? So if you're designing a product or whatever, it's not about what you think would be right. It's what will sell, and what will sell is what your customer wants, right? So, like for another example is you'll do a better job of developing a customer service plan for your company if you can empathize what it's like to be a customer seeking that service, right? Or whether it's a group project you're working on or something that you're working on personally, you need to have that outside perspective to see what you might have to adjust in order for it to be understood by more people and, appreciated and needed by more people. So whenever you're planning something out, make it a point to consider what other people's insights are. And this can be hard at first because, we all tend to automatically assume everyone knows the same information that you do, right? But everyone has different experiences in their lives. They have different perspectives, different personalities, different needs, and they see things differently. So, for example, I build websites. I'm a geek, yeah. So I build websites. And if I were to build a website, I would probably know how to access every single page on that website. I would know how to get to a page if I needed to find it, right? Because I build it from scratch. But if someone with no prior knowledge of my website were to come and visit it, I'd want to be able to make sure that they were able to find what they needed easily. And this provides to your Avon, this applies to your Avon website too. I mean, or if you're in any other company, Tupperware, Mary Kay, whatever, if you have a company provided website that you use to deal with your customers, you need to understand it and maybe learn what your customers' needs are, get really comfortable with your online store so that when you are talking to customers and you know what their needs are, you know how to direct them, how to help them find what they need on your store. That's really important. And so as we're building our business or as we're growing, we're working on a project or whatever, and we're evaluating our work or our company's website, it just helps looking from other people's perspectives if you make notes. So if you like get a notebook or something and keep notes about what certain people do and do not know. So maybe you could have a section about each type of person that you might encounter your work, ranging from an inexperienced customer to a regular customer, or maybe it's not even a customer, maybe it's someone else who works in the business that, it depends on what we're talking about. I mean, if you work in a job, it could be, and you're working with customer service, it could be someone else who's in customer service, right? So keep track of all those different types of people that might come, that might need your service or your sales, and what's important to them, right? This is especially important if you're going to plan to do any advertising. You need to know and understand the people that you're targeting in your ads, because your ads aren't going to do any good if you're not speaking to what they need, what they're looking for. They have questions, you have answers, right? So list off some of the common knowledge or questions or needs that they might have, and ensure that they're able to understand your work, whatever your work is, easily. And it's not always just about efficiency either. I mean, putting yourself in other people's shoes also helps with communication. So even if you're not developing or selling products, over the course of your career or over the course of your life, you're going to have to deal with team members, bosses, colleagues, employees, board members, investors, bankers, even in your personal life, you're going to need to deal with bankers and different people, right? So successfully communicating with them all starts with understanding their point of view, and that requires that empathy. So I saw a quote that reads, "Setting business goals is easy. The hard part is all the damn humans standing between you and your goals." Ain't that the truth, right? Because everybody has their own ideas. They have their own mind, right? So that's the hard part, is all the damn humans that are standing between you and your goals. The only way you're going to get through all those people and get them to align with your goals is if you take the time to understand them. And that your goals could be sales. I mean, I'm not even necessarily talking about building a team, but if you're selling a product or whatever, the only way to get them to align with what your goals are is understanding them. And if you're in business and you're building a team, it's important to know that leadership is about getting a large group of people taking small, simple steps towards the same general direction, towards the same kind of goals, right? And you're never going to be able to get your team all heading in the same direction until you take time to understand the inner purpose that drives each person. So empathy does matter. So Anitra said, "I'm not tech, but I make baby blankets, looking to sell them like my Avon." Yeah, so the key, though, is who needs baby blankets, right? Who, obviously, maybe a grandma might want a baby blanket for their grandbaby, but I mean, it's figuring out who your market is and what their needs are and what they want. So empathy does matter. So as Teddy Roosevelt said, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And that, if we can live our life that way, that can make such a difference, right? So, hey, now I'd love to hear from you. What are your thoughts about empathy? What kinds of things help you be more empathetic in your daily lives? Please share with us. I would love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear what you have to say. So get down in the comments below and share with us. And new mommies, yes, Anitra, new mommies need blankets. You're right. So, hey, thank you all for being here. Thank you for Anitra and Karen for being live, and everybody who's watching the replay. And hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.